Hello guys, welcome to my another video and discussion series. Today's video is gonna be really important for you guys, especially if you are looking for a job or if you want to know how to apply for a job, especially here in Australia. And I'm here with my friends, and these all are professional people, and they are doing really good in their own job, and they are progressing really well in their career. So I thought let's have a quick discussion with them and let's try to learn from them what they went through while they were applying for jobs, so that you could learn something from their experience. So let's get started, guys. And I'll give the floor to my friends. So let's start with Dipendra. On my far right, he's working for one of the largest INGO here in Australia in a finance or accounting section. So Dipendra, you wanna talk to our viewers? What was the job application process here in Australia? What are the things you went through? And you want to give any tips to our viewers, especially when they are applying for jobs in Australia?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Visu. So, the most important thing I realized was not to give up and keep chasing your dreams. Just make sure you know the context of the job. You update your CV and tailor your CV, and then also put your focus on key selection criteria, which might be new uh, for migrants here in Australia, because I've not seen the practice of key selection criteria in some Asian countries. So that was new for me as well. So I took a help from my friend in addressing those key selection criteria, and then making sure my experience fits in the requirement of the role. So I think that's one of the important aspects. And another thing is making sure you don't give up. That the persistence is really important. For me, when I first arrived in Australia in 2017, I didn't have the Australian degree and I didn't have the Australian work experience, so I was a bit nervous as well. And then I was definitely competing with the workforce who had the local experience and degree. But I was confident enough to realize that the experience and the motivation I had was second to none. So I think in my opinion, the persistence and never giving attitude, coupled with tailor-made CVs and the right responses to the key selection criteria is the key to cracking your first job.
Thanks a lot, Dipendra. So Dipendra was saying you should believe in yourself, and he believed in himself, although he didn't have Australian job experience, Australian degree, but he still managed to land a job that was doing well for him. So that means you should believe in yourself, and also, as Dipendra mentioned, persistence and patience is also important. Many of us, we apply for 50 jobs, 60 jobs, and we just get frustrated and we stop applying. But maybe that next job, 61st job, might be looking for you, and maybe that is your dream job. So I think you should, until you get that dream job, you should keep on applying. That's what we can learn from. And also, Dipendra, you were mentioning you didn't have Australian permanent residency before you got this job. So what do you think about that? Do you really need permanent residency to land a good job? What's your take on that?
It's a very tricky one, because I had my first job interview in the first week of landing in Australia, but then I didn't get the job. The reason I was given was that I didn't have the PR, but I didn't just give up on applying for the another one, because I strongly believe, and you guys should believe as well, that PR is not PR should not be the roadblock for you, and it's not mandatory. If you have PR, definitely that's an advantage.
Positive,
But as long as you have the full working rights, I think PR is optional, and then once you show your skills and experience and all other stuffs.
Thanks a lot, Deep. So main takeaway message from Dipendra's experience is you may not really need Australian PR to land a professional job, and also persistence and patience is really key. That's what we can learn from Dipendra's experience. So let's move on to my other good friend, Suman Pokhrel, with a nice blue shirt. So Suman is currently working in a multinational agricultural company in a finance department, right? So Suman, you want to introduce yourself to our viewers and give tips to our viewers while they are applying for jobs, and how to get a job in Australia, and what is your take on that?
Certainly, Vishnu. Thank you for giving me this chance to share my experience.
Yeah.
So I work in one of the multinational, as you said, and in finance department. So we are in lending.
Yeah.
So my experience was a bit different than what Jitendra went through.
Yeah.
So I didn't apply for many jobs
Yeah.
like other might have done. So mine was after I completed my education. My friend actually called me. It was due to network. So she called me and she offered me saying that there is an opportunity that you may be interested in.
Yeah.
So I ended up there. And while doing that job, I got another opportunity
Yeah.
from somebody else.
Yeah.
So she made a call and she asked me if I'm interested in that lending position, which I'm currently working on. So it's basically it's about surrounding yourself with the right people, and also always you have to mind one thing, that whenever you represent yourself in front of others,
Yeah.
what kind of reflection you give to them,
Yeah.
so that they think that you can add value
Yeah.
to whatever they offer.
So basically, you are talking mainly about networking, right?
Networking.
And also, what I want to add to Suman's from Suman's experience is, so when Suman was talking about networking, it was not just making circle or making network. I think he was trying to add value to the network.
Yeah.
Nowadays, when we try to look for the job, we just try to add people into our LinkedIn group and other groups, so that we feel like, oh, we have this network, but we are not really adding value. But what Suman was doing was he was adding value to that network. So that's the key, right, Suman?
That's the key.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, and that ended up
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah, and also you were mentioning while you were landing this job, you were not permanently settled here in Australia, right?
no, I finished my education. I got both the jobs
Yeah.
before I got my PR.
Yeah.
So people say that it's a prerequisite of getting a job. PR is a prerequisite. It is in certain way, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
If you don't have PR, you
Still
can
you can
still
get
get a job.
So guys, Deependra and Suman are examples. So you may not really need PR to land a good job as well. So that could be a good learning experience, and that might motivate you guys. So you don't just wait on PR to have a good job. Keep on trying for the jobs.
Right.
So now let's move on to Suman, who is looking really nice in that red
Samir.
shirt. Sorry, Samir. So Samir is working in the building and property management company in a management position. So Samir, you wanna introduce yourself to our viewers and give tips to our viewers on how to apply for the job or how to look for the job, and maybe any additional things you wanna add.
Yeah, thank you, Visa. I currently manage two high-rise buildings in the city of Melbourne, and I'll just give a short description because I haven't been in the market for too long. It's just been a year and a half. So my way was I used to research a lot on Seek, and I used to research about the HR managers.
Yeah.
So I used to send letters out to HR managers of
Yeah.
the companies
Yeah.
by addressing it to a person.
Yeah.
Like, I think it makes a difference when you say to the HR manager,
Yeah.
then
And the person,
then the
yeah.
person you say
Yeah.
to Mr. Dane or Mr. Sam, because
Yeah, yeah.
when you address someone by name,
Yeah.
that makes a difference. That
Yeah.
that already makes your application
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And then another thing I've done was I made sure that I send hard copies of the application as well.
Yeah.
I mean, digital copies can be picked,
Yeah.
and obviously everybody is aware that they use softwares
Yeah.
to pick CVs
Yeah.
before their screen.
Yeah.
So I used to send hard copies of the
Yeah.
application, and yeah, I think that's worked in my favor as well.
Yeah.
I got a few calls because I sent out a letter addressed to the HR manager. I used to get rings. Obviously, you have to have the skills and experience
Yeah. Yeah.
needed for the job, and yeah, that was the take. Yeah, research the local market well.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask
Yeah.
questions to the HR managers. They are not the one that are
Yeah.
they are there to help you out. Just if you need more information about the job, pick up the phone, ring them, send them an email, ask them, is there anything you can do better to ensure you fit the application? And I think and that's about it really.
So Samir, you came to Australia in 2018, right?
Yes.
So and even though you were not in Australia for a longer time, you still managed to land a professional job. So what was that thing was it your belief in yourself, or what was that thing you were pushing so that you got a good job?
Well, I mean, when I came here, I gave 3 interviews. I was successful in all 3 of them, so I had the chance to choose one from there. But I think I had, because I had previous experience working in a similar industry as well, which obviously gave me competitive advantage
Yeah.
over the others. So yeah, I think compared to other countries, Australia has more of an, because it's a young country,
Yeah.
and it's growing like no other place in the world. It's expanding every day. I think opportunities are more here.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think what I would say to anyone who is currently studying, graduating, try to get as much skills as you can. Like when you say skill, because English is a first language here, and if you're not a native speaker, that becomes a second language to you. So you need to ensure that you communicate your communication skills or your interpersonal skills. And certain jobs need dress codes. How you present yourself, those skills are sharpened as well. So
Thanks a lot, Samir. So main takeaway message I think from Samir's experience is he was really focusing on a good job application.
yeah,
So what he was doing was he was doing some research on the hiring manager. He was trying to find out who was the actual person, what was his name, and trying to refer the job application to that particular person. Many of us might just apply writing a letter in a way like to whom it may concern. So we use that word which is really famous, to whom it may concern. But that may not be really good, because that doesn't give personal touch to your application. So I think giving that next level to your application process and really tailoring your cover letter and resume for that particular person could also help. So that's what we can learn from Samir. So Samir, thanks a lot. So let's move on to my another very good friend. So he's currently working in a top leadership position, senior leadership position in one of the NASDAQ and ASX listed biotechnological company, and he has also done quite well in his job. So GS, should I call you GS? Or
Call me GS, that's fine. Ghanshyam, that's fine. I don't mind.
Yeah. So GS, you wanna give tips to our viewers, and you wanna introduce yourself to our viewers and give any suggestions to our viewers so that they can also get motivated from your experience?
Of course. Thank you, Bishu, for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. That's good. So I started as a grad. So about 10 years ago, when I graduated from the uni, I started as a grad. And then back then, I didn't know how to do anything. I had zero work experience in Australia. I graduated and stayed home for about 6 months, just looking after the jobs. So one thing I like to point out when you look at the job is, when you're doing an application, do not look at your resume first. Always look the job descriptions and the companies and the hiring managers and all that. And that's how you formulate the resume based on the job description. For every single job, you have to have a new resume tailored to that, new cover letter tailored to that. I think that's really key. So when I graduated about 10 years ago now, I stayed home and I started looking for job, and I was applying literally hundreds and hundreds of jobs every single day. Each job application was tailored to the jobs. So I think, the key takeaway I think from this experience when I started as a grad was tailor your resume to every job. Get personal with the hiring managers, as Samir said. Get personal. So don't use the generic cover letters. Write their name. Call them if you need to. I think that's very key. As I move further down the line, I started as a grad, and I moved further down the line. I moved to a mid-tier accounting firm, and I worked at PwC. I finished at PwC as a senior consultant and moved out. As you move along the line, you never get scared to learn new things. Always ask for look for new avenues to develop your skills. I think that's key. Once you get the job and you're in the job, getting a job is only one part of the process. It's a long journey. Your career is like 30, 40 years that you have to work throughout. So it's only a beginning. Landing a job is only a beginning. So after job, you learn on the jobs, and then don't be scared to try new things. And you have to take risks in career. To grow up, you have to take risks. You take calculated risks and grow up slowly.
Thanks a lot, yes. So you talk a lot about recruiters these days, right? So you want to add how recruiters add value to your job application process?
Of course. So for me, once I moved there at PwC, I've never applied job myself. I go to a recruiter, go out for coffee with them, bring my resume, out to them, and they look at my resume and give me some tips. You have a coffee, get personal with them, build your network, and then they'll find the job for you.
Yeah. So what we can learn from GS experience is maybe recruiters is another avenue we can look at. Many of us, we just go to the website and try applying for those jobs and feel frustrated when we don't get the call from companies. But maybe recruiters can also help you. So you can reach out to recruiters who can really make your application better for that particular jobs, and that also might help. So thanks a lot, guys. It was, I think, a really good experience, and I'm sure your experience will help our viewers a lot, because even if your experience can help one person, I would feel that the objective of this video is completed.
Cool.
So guys, any last thing you want to add?
Yeah, before wrapping up the
Yeah.
show, why don't you share your experience, how you landed in your job?
So Suman, thanks a lot for that question. So guys, I currently work as a project manager where we develop dog and cat food, mainly dog food. So I came to Australia on 2018, but I was applying to jobs here in Australia before I came to Australia. And many of us might think you need to be in that place to get the job in that place, but that's not really true, because nowadays it's all about internet. People can see you from LinkedIn, people can see you from that website, this website, so people can track you from anywhere. So that means physically being present in that area, that place is not really important. So if you are looking for jobs in Australia, plan from 1 year ahead, plan way before. Even if you are in Nepal or India or some other countries, you can plan job from there. You can reach out to recruiters, you can email them. Maybe you email 50 of them, 40 of them don't reply, but at least 2-3 will reply, and then you will start building network with them. That also might help. So this is how what I do. And also I want to add something to Samir's experience and Samir's what Samir said. When I apply for the job, I really look at those key selection criteria and I tailor everything. And also what I do is while making resume, I make resume in a way that it adds value to the company where I'm going. So not just like I get that experience working as a project manager, but what I do is I add something like I completed 10 projects in last year, which was equating to 20 million. So if you can give that financial or numerical value to your resume, that is what industries are looking, because industries want those people who can add value to their company and who can take their company to the next level. So that's what I focus on when I applying for jobs. And also I try to work on my LinkedIn profile so that my LinkedIn profile is up to date, and I try to reach to HR managers or many other people who are working in the company so that I could be in their network, and I try to add value to that network, and that's what I do. So that's what took me to this role. Thanks a lot, Suman, again for asking that question. So I hope, guys, this discussion series was really informative, and even if it helps few people here in Australia or anywhere in the world, our objective is completed. Thanks a lot for being in my video. I really appreciate that. That really means a lot to me, and I hope, guys, you really liked our content. If you like the content, please feel free to like this video and put your comment down below in the comment section. Also, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks a lot, guys. I will see you again in next video.
Good luck, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.